This is Jim Sawyer for capitalismandcrisis.org. This episode begins with Adam Smith placing a call to fellow zombie economist Jeremy Bentham, now residing in Truthiness City. Bentham, wary of liberals, had accepted part-time work at the university there, creating 18th century rebuttals to liberal dogmas about what's happening now. But with demand waning for his own dogma, Bentham more recently downsized to a mundane job, complete with billboard ads of him in wide-brimmed straw hat hawking Jeremy's zombie-style used cars. Jeremy, says Adam Smith, by phone from the great salty city, we're preparing momentarily for Professor Robinson's presentation here at the University of Great Saltiness. You may recall she last spoke at Saltiness almost 4 decades ago. Please come. All the gang will be here for a big zombie economic blowout. Even Grandpa will be attending. Can you make it? Adam asks. Joe needs an angry critic in the audience. In that role, you always do a killer job. No way, Bentham snarls. Besides, Joan would badmouth my pet topic, how laissez-faire sprang from the Enlightenment. I'm not coming all the way to Saltiness just for Professor Robinson to bash my ideas. Click. Sure enough, at the appointed time, Robinson begins, as Bentham predicted, badmouthing some economic aspects of the Enlightenment. First, she trashes what Adam Smith once thought he learned from physical scientist Isaac Newton about economic orderliness. While Robinson speaks, Smith listens intently, even though pretending to sleep. Grandpa, sitting nearby, wonders if Adam is trying to avoid embarrassment, given his overdependence 2 centuries earlier on an orderliness worldview now fully out of sync with reality. Professor Robinson continues, orderliness was used by Enlightenment economists, she muses, to shore up what evolved into 21st century right-wing ideological beliefs about equilibrium. The real economy, right-wing adherents believe, will always follow their fantasy belief of perfection, says Joan, but only if government is sidelined. It is government, then, that throws a wrench into the works, free marketers claim, with taxes, regulations, and other policies they consider as meddling. However, right-wingers fail to account for various hoarding schemes that pop up along the way, she says. When this happens, unfortunately, it triggers leakages out of the real economy, diminishing its potential. Examples? Well, during the Great Depression, gold was hoarded, stuffed under the mattress, so to speak. Doing so slowed the outflow of household wealth during the initial panic, but also created leakages, hemorrhages out of the purchasing power stream, precipitating ever larger drops in aggregate income and employment. Say's law, so-called, is no law at all, but merely the restatement of the laissez-faire belief that unregulated markets create near-perfect adjustments. When J.M. Keynes broadly rejected this belief in the 1930s, indeed, also he was rejecting the view there should be no economic stabilization role for government, no economic policy levers to control bubble economies. Right-wing belief, of course, is when government is sidelined from the get-go, dysfunctional bubbles can't develop, and therefore no need to clean up messes for which only government is responsible when government meddling, as they see it, is prohibited. More recently, Robinson observes a second glitch in doctrinaire capitalism is driving dysfunction in our contemporary economy trademarked by high-tech and international trade. She calls glitch number 2 the profit lacuna. Its meaning? Well, 2 centuries ago, says Joan, the thought system they created, the one still in use today, failed to make a distinction that has become crucial. Indeed, there is no specific theory of profit in our inherited capitalist intellectual system, no carefully crafted theory of profit in a system that depends on a profit explanation to justify self-interested action as the prescribed way to attain the common good. Specifically, capitalism's underlying doctrine fails to distinguish between what should be the extra reward to one more dollar of productive investment by capitalists compared with one more dollar of non-productive asset placement by pseudo-capitalists. For instance, what ought to be the extra reward to someone like Tesla's Elon Musk compared with the presumed lower compensation to many financiers and other wealth hoarders like alleged pseudo-capitalist Donald Trump, whose personal business empire is about economically non-productive casinos, endless finance, and deals. In sum, Professor Robinson concludes, there is an economic swamp, but the real one looks much different from the contrived one, the so-called boogeyman pursued relentlessly by the Trumpsters. The real economic swamp is one of short-term thinking, of wealth hoarding, of fraud, rigging and gaming schemes, and the like. So, asks Grandpa from the back of the room, who caused the Great Recession? Which of the two ideologies should be held accountable? Okay, here goes, says Joan. Right-wingers believe it was caused by too much government. Centrists and left-wingers, on the other hand, believe it was caused by wealth-aspiring right-wing ideologues who, in pursuit of the economic gas pedal, threw out the brake pedal of prudence instead. Read lots of perspectives on this, she admonishes. I'll conclude then, says Joan, with a particularly biting one from the New York Times from 2008. Phil Gramm was a U.S. Senator from Texas. According to the Times, Gramm became the most effective proponent of deregulation in a generation. As chair of the Senate Banking Committee, he pushed laws and promoted policies that he says unshackled businesses from needless restraints, but that his critics charge significantly contributed to the financial crisis. He led the effort to block measures curtailing deceptive or predatory lending. He advanced legislation that fractured oversight of Wall Street while knocking down Depression-era barriers that restricted the rise and reach of financial conglomerates. And he pushed through a provision that ensured virtually no regulation of the complex financial instruments known as derivatives that would encourage risky investment practices to spread around the world. Well, Professor Robinson concludes, you be the judge. Stay tuned. This is Jim Sawyer for capitalismandcrisis.org, home of Zombienomics.